Housing market outlook, brighter days to come from the NAR. If you know Yoon, I've spoke about him quite a few times. He's the NAR chief economist. He's been around for decades. Very well spoken. He's a good guy to listen to if you're in the market. However, a lot of people that watch this are not in the market. So, if you're in this industry, it helps to know what's going on. And that's why I share this news with you, because it's helpful for me, one, to get it in my brain and share it with you, but also when you're ready for it, it's available to you. So you can digest it and see it in your point of view. So residential economic issues trends, Yoon talked about a rebound. I don't really know why we're saying it's a rebound, because the market here really never slowed down. I mean, it slowed down a little bit the last couple of months. And the only reason why we've had slower or less sales is because there's less houses on market. The consumption is there, except for the last couple of months, right? But over the last 2 years, the only problem that we've had is because houses just aren't being put on market. The demand is there, and we've proven that over and over. Not so much in other parts of the country. However, here in the Bay Area, houses tend to sell pretty quickly. And we're still pretty spoiled here, right? It says existing home sales are expected to rise 6% in 2025 and accelerate by 11% in 2026. Home sales should climb by 10% this year and 5% next year. Median home prices will continue to rise. Now, we did see a little collapse, a little dip in the average or median home sales overall in the United States, but we're kind of still taking up here in the Bay Area. I've showed that over and over again. Mortgage rates mortgage rates are the magic bullet, at least. And here's the thing, right? We're forecast to bring it down about 0.5%. And I don't think that's enough to trigger a fire sale or see houses go quickly. I don't think that's enough to get people that own houses with 2.5% mortgages to get off the chair or off the fence to put their houses on market. Because remember, back in 2021, people were buying whatever they could, not their forever home, not the home that they wanted. They're waiting. They were like, I need to buy a house now because it just makes economic sense for me to buy a house. So prices went up. Homes were selling for $400,000 over list price. There are 15, 20, 25 offers on every house. Now we're learning to work with buyers. Now we're learning to negotiate again. Now we're learning that sellers can't really command anything. It has slowed down. It has trickled down a little bit. We need to be at about 5.5 to 6% for the buyer, for the current sellers, the recent homeowners, to put their houses on market so they can find their forever home. That's where we're missing in our demographic of markets. We're seeing empty nesters, we're seeing relocation, we're seeing move ups, and I have listings of all of those. I have people that are getting rid of their home that they raised their children in and moving into retirement homes. I have people that are moving out of the area, and I have people that are moving to bigger homes. So those are the demographics of who's selling houses right now. But what we're missing are the people looking for their forever home, because they're stuck in the home that they bought in 2021, and well, it's livable. It's not what they want because they got into it. So once we get to 6%, coffee, we'll see the market kind of speed up again. And Fannie Mae and other people have been talking about this as well as me, not like I'm an expert, but the housing market remains very difficult at the moment. Part of the delay of the recovery is because Federal Reserve has changed its outlook and appears to be on a pause for a longer period. Powell testified last week, and he said that we're still not at a place from his point of view, whether it's political or economic, his job is to keep the economy moving forward and not get into a recession, and he's doing that job, whether you like it or not. Whether you think he's doing a good job or not, doesn't really matter. He downgraded his economic predictions and reduced its 2025 GDP growth from 2.1 to 1.7 and raised its inflation forecast from 2.4 to 2.7. The fast ascent of mortgage rates, which was 2-3 years ago, really hurt the real estate market. Again, across the nation, not really here. We're still buying houses. We still have demand. We still have houses selling. Not at the same tick as what we were doing in 2021, but also not what we saw in 2004. I almost said it. So just remember that, we're not in a recession right now. This is still a great time to sell, right? Wage growth is at 3.8. Inflation edged down to 2.3. Home sales has been very difficult over the past 2 years. We've seen the lowest home sales in 30 years for 2 consecutive years. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. Again, this is something that is for the entire United States. It's not global, not local. I talk local. So just remember that we do see houses selling here pretty quick. We're not seeing a contraction in our market. We're seeing a slight contraction right now because we're out of the selling season. So houses are coming in, our offers are coming in lower and with more concessions on them. Well, yesterday I spoke about this. I'll bring this up again. Here. Ding, ding, ding. Thank you, cameraman. When you sell in a hot market, yeah, you get a higher price. That's great for your ego. You can tell people you sold at the top of the market. But really, it does hurt you because you sell for more, but you also have higher selling costs. And then when you go to buy another house, you have higher selling costs or acquisition costs. So remember that you have more competition. You have to pay a premium because you're going up to $400,000 over list price. Sometimes you have to deal with an appraisal gap, and you don't get a lot of repairs done before. But here's the thing. When it's in a slow market and you're buying a house, you can ask for all that. You can ask for repairs. You can ask for concessions. You can ask for credits and buy downs for the points and all that other stuff. And it's actually a great time to buy a house, even though it's not affordable right now. So if you can figure out where you can afford, get into a house now, and then you can lower the rates when they come down. So think about it too. When you sell in a cool market, like right now, I have 5-6 listings I have coming up right now. I have 3 active, and they're all fairly active. I see houses, my houses are getting showings almost every day. It's not like it was like 15 showings every day for a couple of days. When you price it right, you're going to get it sold quickly, right? What's pricing it right? If you have the price, if you think it's worth $2 million, list it at 1.7. If it's worth 1.5, list it at 1.2, 1.3. It doesn't matter because some buyers will come in and say, no, that's what I'm paying for, or take it or leave it. Well, if you price it right, you're going to get a lot of offers, and then you can see the price bid up to where the market really is. I know it's kind of scary, but that's just the way this market's set up. It's blind bidding. It's not a fair thing. It's just the way it is. Okay, distressed property of the week. This is on 16th Street in San Jose. Not my listing. $850,000, 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 816 square feet. And it's near 101. Here's the thing. This is a great thing to take if you're looking at doing a tear down and build up, right? If you want your forever home, this is a great option for you. You can buy it for $800 and put $500,000, $700,000 into a nicer home. Now you have something that's worth $2 million and you have some equity built into it. Think about that. There's not much to this house. It's pretty blank, pretty barren. This is also a great rental, but for $816,000, you're not going to cash flow very well unless you have the cash to drop down. And there's better ways to use your money that way. This is homes near Apple, $2.4 million, Live Oak, not my listing, 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 1,700 square feet, 2-story. And there it is right there. It's not super close to it, but that's also based in the price too. So this is a Shea home, a Shea built home, and it was updated a few years ago and then repainted recently. They have granite counters and hardwood floors. So, this is a nice house. This thing is move-in ready. It's not anything super fancy, but it is what it is. There's a nice grill outside, kitchen setup for you if you're into that, and a nice backyard that needs a little bit of lawn care. So there you go. I don't know what those are. Those might be just like hot plates. I thought it was a grill. Okay, there you go. Mountain View home of the week. The reason why I picked it is because it's close to Castro Street, walking distance to downtown. Your Main Street, USA. This is Fairmont Ave, $2.4 million, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,200 square feet, built in 1945. And it's a basic bungalow home. Original cabinets, original tile, white appliances. So yeah, we'll see how this thing does. There's not a whole lot to this house, but it's also fairly large for the price, fairly large. It's a 1-car garage. Let's see if it has cooling. No air conditioning. Yeah, the older homes tend to not have air conditioning. And 40 days on market report, we're kind of starting to tick up a little bit. We're seeing those numbers go up. And again, it's not a not healthy thing. It's kind of normal to see this in the summer, but we are seeing homes kind of flagrantly tick up. Even in the 90 days, it's going up a little bit. REOs are still pretty nominal. We're seeing the REO California tick up just a tad bit. Nothing really crazy to worry about, because back in 2010, this was 2,600, not 266. Okay, and then for sale, San Jose, I think we're in a balanced market right now. I'm going to call it. I know I was saying that it's 1,000 for San Jose and 2,000 for Santa Clara, but all things being what they are, I think we're in a balanced market. I think it's fair for buyers right now. Buyers are taking their time. They're being picky about what they're buying, and they know the value of every house that goes on market. And what they're looking for is homes that are turnkey, ready to move into, and they don't have to do anything to it. There's houses out there that are DIY, and the ones that are in price, they're overpriced based on their condition, location, and the market. They're sitting on market, and people are being picky about it. So just remember, that's going to happen. We're a little bit higher than where we need to be. I still think once we get to 800, 900, we'll be really in a buyer's market, but homes are still selling, right? I told you that before. Homes here in the county, we're staying on market 17 days on average. Once it gets to 6 months, that's a buyer's market. That's the rule of thumb. The rule of thumb. So there you go. So again, I don't think we're hurting right now. I think we're seeing a balanced market, the way things are set out, with the rates being where they are, where the economy being where they are, and the propaganda machines spouting negativity. The sky is falling, World War III, nuclear Armageddon, all this stuff. I don't think it's going to affect a lot of people. I think what is really affecting us is the rates. Once the rates go down, we'll see the market balance out and tidal wave back, or tide back to normal, which is being more of a seller's market here. The last 2 years, we've seen buyers take advantage of this, and it's a great time to buy. Told you that here, right? Less competition, don't pay a premium, no appraisal gap. You can ask for repairs, you can ask for credits, you can ask for concessions, and you can buy a larger house if you can afford it, right? Because rates are still kind of crappy right now. All right, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. I'm Vito with Abitano. We'll see you out there.